So we're live now. Okay, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. I have a fantastic guest joining us today who is a fan favorite. We have Drago Reid. Drago is a certified QHHT practitioner and founder of fractaloflight.com, working directly with individuals emerging from illegal government black programs, mnemonic trauma systems, and covert military assets. His specialty is activating blocked memories, integrating trauma-created alters, and conducting on-camera regression sessions that examine and verify super soldier testimony in real time. He's done over 1,000 QHHT sessions, and Drago applies precision questioning, subconscious interrogation, pattern recognition to bring clarity, and so much more. He's an SXP experiencer, an intuitive guide, and he's been doing loads of conferences recently. How are you, Drago?
I'm here. I'm showing up to life, and no real complaints, I guess.
Okay, cool. Because we did a show, was it like 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, which was really good. So what have you been up to since we last met?
What have I been up to? My life is a blur. I rarely remember the week before. I don't know what's coming the week in advance. I basically live day by day with my schedule, and my schedule controls me. So I would say that I'm living my dream, doing what I was always supposed to do, and it just stays me really booked. It's a lot of energy, and this is like, whew.
So how many like QHHT sessions are you doing in a week? How many podcasts, that kind of thing? What have you got going on? You still doing tattoo?
I just recently took a break from tattooing. The business that was owning my tattoo shop, they just sold the building. So I got like a 2 weeks notice, say, hey man, we're selling the building. I know you've worked here for the last 8 years for me, but you gotta go.
Hmm.
So what that did is it just gave me a little bit of extra time where I can then allocate more consultations, more hypnosis sessions, and remove like a 60-hour barrier of tattooing where I can just start doing consults and hypnosis sessions. I do a lot throughout the week. It's
Yeah.
People want so many consultations and sessions that I got to just fit it in every moment that I have. I'm trying to maximize as many people as I can because I don't want to get booked out for 6 months. I don't want to get booked out for a year or 3 years like some of these other practitioners. So when a request comes in, I try to knock it out as fast as possible. I'll take a 4 hour window. That was my only break for the day. And then I'll be like, okay, take this time for yourself. And then it's just like more stuff comes in. So I'm like, all right, I got to fill that. So
Hmm.
I'm just trying to do as much as I can. I'm trying to work as hard as I can now when I'm young. So by the time I'm really old, I would have done all the work I needed to do now, working really hard. So worst case scenario, if my body breaks down, my mind breaks down in the end, I would have done all the hard work I needed to do now and it'll pay off in the end.
Yeah, that's so cool. You've been doing loads of traveling. Tell us about your recent travels.
I just got back from Hawaii, thank God, because the hurricane was actually coming. It was coming the day of me leaving, and I remember having other practitioners, and we all got together and we are like, we need to send this away from Hawaii, at least until we're gone. And we did a lot of healing on Hawaii. We did some healing in Kilauea right before it exploded again. The last time it really got bad and exploded was 2018, and it destroyed a big part of the Big Island, man. Like when I saw how much lava flow was on that island, I was pretty shocked. It looked like a sci-fi movie where every direction you look was just fields of lava with no trees, nothing else, just lava destruction. And interesting enough, the queen, let me find out what her name is real quick. She ended up coming through to my session. One of my clients flew down from Australia, and I did her as the first session for the show before the show started, like a day before it started. And it turns out that she was shown that she's the original being that was the soul of the queen of the island, the last queen before the Hawaiian Islands were lost. And let me see what her name is real quick. I just actually released that session probably 30 minutes ago on YouTube on Portal to Another Dimension. So that full episode's ready, man. So basically, let me see. I wrote so much and I put it on my Facebook post about what happened during that session. And like, so a bunch of these gods end up coming through. They basically observed what I did at the Kilauea volcano crater, where all the practitioners and speakers got together and we kind of like said, hey, we're going to hold some intentions. Why are you here in Hawaii? Blah, blah, blah. People stated their objectives and the reasons. And I said, I guess the main reason intuitively I got at that moment was I was sensing all the human sacrifice there on the Big Island. And it was even there in the volcano, people being thrown in this volcano for like this human sacrifice stuff. So I decided that I would dedicate it to all the people that were fallen and all the discarnate souls that were there in the Big Island, and I opened up a portal for them to actually come through. And I did that after the Queen came in that first session. The most interesting part about it enough, the Queen came through again in this session I'm talking about now that I just posted, and it's on a client of mine named Ginger, and she's lived on Hawaii in Hawaii the last 26 years. She's a white lady, treated as a haole, treated as an outsider, and she just happens to be the original creator of the entire Lemurian and Hawaiian race. So imagine that. And that was from the Pleiades. She and coincidentally, and Anthony Zender, he's also a co-creator of the Lemurian and Hawaiian race, and he came as a speaker. And we found out through these sessions that we all made an agreement before we incarnated that we would all meet up at this time. We would activate each other. We would do different types of healings. And since I was there to do mainly healing, again, all these gods came through. The night marchers came through. These are the night gods that come through, and they're the warriors of the island, and all they've known is war. And it was awesome to release all this trauma from Pele, from the Queen. I never said her name. Her name is Layli Kualani. That's the Queen's name. And then she asked that I also heal Kamehameha the First. He was the person that took over the Hawaiian people and basically installed himself as king, and he murdered thousands of Hawaiians. There was a lot of people that were lost during these wars, and I just realized that the reason why I was in Hawaii was to unite and have people, the collective, forgive each other for what they did to each other. Even the king, he had nothing but regrets. But all that's listed in that session, and like I said, it just now posted, so everybody needs to go watch it.
That's amazing. Amazing. We're already getting some questions in, so I'm trying to make notes of questions and share out the video at the same time. So there was a first question that came in, and I've been asked this question by Michael Koff as well, and it's such a tricky question. Do you think that there's a benefit of being used in the SSP?
Think about just the soul evolution alone, about being hybridized, being tortured, and all kinds of things. But look what that made you, Michael. Like, think about this. You're a podcaster now. You're stepping forward. You're telling your stories. You're writing books. You're doing all kinds of things because to be in these programs, you're getting what Amir Jahangiri caused. I think he calls it forced unnatural evolution. So imagine being put in a program where you're pushed to your limits to activate your DNA characteristics of how powerful you truly are. And then you can use that to also help people. Like the SSP, it's a bunch of like, we do a lot of bad stuff in the SSP. And what I mean by that is the number one mission for the SSP is conquest. So conquering new planets, conquering moons, conquering new timelines, new solar systems, and SSP does that by force. It doesn't matter which SSP faction you're in, they all do it by force. They do it by time travel, they do it by brutal domination, they do it by bombarding from high Earth orbit or low Earth orbit, sending asteroids, just breaking or destroying planets to set that it's dominance, man. It sucks. I've seen it happen so many times. It's horrible, man, to to watch a planet break apart, or to know that there's all these people dying below you in a planet and stuff, and it's bad stuff, man. But the good thing about it is if you can break free from your programming, you can save a lot of people. You can do what's right. You can do things in other timelines and other dimensions and otherworldly means that mere humans cannot do, that they would never have the opportunity to do. So like, look at what happens with abduction. They take us to ships, they take us to planets, they take us to other timelines. No other humans getting that experience. They're getting the standard hologram video game, 9 to 5, digging potato life, like Dolores Cannon always says. A completely unremarkable life. More than likely, high percentage of it is trauma. Sure, SSP's trauma, but look at all the good stuff we get to do. We get to literally fly spaceships and talk to extraterrestrials, man. Like, come on. Getting past all the trauma, it's amazing as well. I freaking hate the SSP, but I also love it. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those double-edged swords where you get cut no matter how you view it.
I asked myself the question the other day, if they came to my door and they said, "You've got to go, you're coming," I probably would say yes. Of course I'm going to say yes, because my son's nearly 17, his dad is there if he needs support. But I would, if they rocked up and said, I know I'm getting taken anyway. I had literally like injection mark right there on the vein the other day and stuff. So I probably would say yes. Newskin's in the chat, Christy Campbell's in the chat, Curious Cole's in the chat. Shout out everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. We've already got 20 people watching.
I'll try to keep along. I'm using my phone as a chat because you can't see it on the damn screen.
Yeah, because I use Zoom. The reason I use Zoom, guys, and why it doesn't get advertised in advance, because I can't use StreamYard. It attacks my internet router too much. I get too much targeting through it. So Zoom is a lot more secure for me, and then I get the breakdown of the videos and audio separately as well. So Christy Campbell had a question, and it was, were you in the Orion Wars? And if you were, what did you learn from the Orion Wars?
I've learned that the Orion Wars have never ended. We talk about the Orion Wars about being in the past, but you got to realize the Orion Gate, the center star of the belt of Orion, is one of the main entrances to this part of the universe. So like, it's always been guarded. That's why Giza has been one of the biggest strong points to that, because it's still an active system there. Even though a lot of it's been shut down and turned off, it's still active. And we're going to eventually discover that there's domes under Giza Plateau, and these are ancient domes. And they're bigger than the Hall of Records and everything we've ever assumed. But Orion's always been key no matter what. We're still militarizing it. We still have guards guarding the gate. It's still being fought over with the Draconians, and like, this is one of their main entrances into this part of the system. So like, we still haven't won it back. The good guys have still not won it back, unfortunately. So we're still part of the Orion War. Like, we can say that, like the Lyran War, we would assume that the Lyran War is done and over with billions of years ago, but it never ended. Like, most of us, we have an origin in Lyra. A lot of us were Lyran before we were Pleiadian, or before we were Sirian, or all these other species, because it took us to having to be usurped from our own planet to save ourselves and terraform other planets and hybridize, becoming masters at genetics to master our bodies so we can survive on these outposts and these craters and these moons and these planets that were never for us. And it's changed our bodies. But again, like, all of this literally goes back to the Orion Gate period. That's why the symbolism is strong with the Anunnaki. That's why the symbolism is still strong in Hollywood and all the sci-fi movies, because they're telling us a lot of this is being perpetuated from that system.
Okay, there's a question from Newskin, and he's saying, when he's Matthias and he was up there in Nachtwaffen, there was or is an ongoing escalatory rivalry between Nachtwaffen rank and file and Kruger Corps. Can you elaborate on how Nachtwaffen rank / file versus Kruger Sentinels began? Do you know about that rivalry?
Okay, so the Krugers are always fighting people that are not Kruger. So if you're just regular Nachtwaffen, Kruger is more an elite group of people. So there's been different factions of Germans fighting other factions of Germans, and that's what it's come down to. And that's what it's about. It's about dominating. I don't think that'll ever end because it's all these different factions and programs. They're always trying to see who is best. They'll use time travel. They'll go back in time, preventing one person from attaining a certain technology. This is why Kruger Sentinels is a very controversial subject to bring up, and why Kruger Sentinels are so freaking brutal. I have a Kruger Sentinel altar, but you should already know that. You know how high my shit goes with the Krugers, the family, and like how close I serve to them. But again, like what you remember about me, New Skin, most people do not know about that. Most people do not know how high I go in Kruger or Arasaka. And I've never truly talked about it. I talk about it in some of my presentations, but I'm putting a lot of that in my book. I clarify a lot of that, and I try not to put a lot of spoilers out when it comes to certain stuff. So you'll notice when we talk sometimes, I'll talk about some stuff, and sometimes I avoid certain subjects because we're being monitored with all of our communications. There's oracles in the room when you are talking to me and when I'm talking to you, and I've got to be careful what I physically put in this quantum field of information because there's certain things I don't want them to be on my trail yet with. And that's why I've kind of had to keep it to myself. So that's the reason why I don't talk about it much.
Okay, I've got notes here about the halls of Amenti. Have you, because we work in the Akashic Records, have you been into the halls of Amenti? What are the halls of records?
I don't recall ever being there, but I've been on ops all around that entire ecosystem underneath the pyramids. And one of the code names is we call it LOC Echo. And that EO also goes for Egypt. And it's one of the main portals for this system. And when I was talking about there's a dumb there, that's more what I'm talking about. Like everybody focuses on this Hall of Records. Like a lot of the stuff in the Hall of Records have been moved. So like a lot of that is there's a lot of stuff under the Giza complex that's never been talked about. And that's more what we need to focus on. Trevor Grassi is doing a lot of work at the Giza Plateau with a lot of the Egyptologists, and they're discovering some amazing things. And Egypt is one of everybody thinks that the most famous thing at the Giza Plateau is the pyramids, but it's actually not. When people find out that the pyramids are actually inverted as well, it's a top-facing pyramid and a bottom-facing pyramid, and they usually build it from the bottom upwards, and they carve it all out. But I was sent on missions there to cover ancient AI systems, just like you and I did when we were at Merge. One of our biggest mission objectives was to bring back ET technology, and we were assigned to those because we had the genetic keys to activate a lot of these technologies, especially Atlantean stuff, especially Anunnaki stuff, Draconian stuff, because our lineage, we have those DNA templates already built into our system, kind of like John Whitberg. When he was Kyle Delshow, he would be sent to a lot of these sites as well for archaeological retrieval. We would exfil out AI cores, these ancient AI systems like made of crystal or like rock, and everybody thinks it's like this fancy technology with wires, but a lot of this advanced stuff, it looks nothing like that's ever been shown on movies. I mean, you literally can't describe it. It's like you taking away the platonic solids and Plato just rediscovering those. And then all the shapes we've ever created as humans don't exist. It's pretty amazing stuff. Also, what was the question that was asked to make sure I answer it?
About accessing halls of Amenti.
Yeah, so it's records of the entire cosmos. It also stores how Thoth stole the Emerald Covenant from the Emerald Covenant, like the tablets, and they use that to basically take over the humanoid race that was already here first because when they arrived, there was already Lemurians here. And that's what this fight's been about. It's always been against the Lemurians and then winning. And the Anunnaki never truly actually won. And that's what a lot of these wars, we've talked about in the past how the angels, Gabriel's specifically his position, his name, like the names of the angels, that those are not their birth names, those are titles. So like Michael is a title, it's not actually a name. And that title is also the name of Enki. Enki is also Michael. So people need to again realize everybody's worshiping like Archangel Michael and they're bringing these energies and sessions and stuff. And you're not realizing that he is a single person that connects to the Anunnaki. And he is not an angelic being and he does not have wings at all. If you can remote view who Michael is, if you can get through his projections of who he is, because a lot of you remote viewers, I'm kind of ashamed how you get information because you're believing everything you're seeing and you're not going through the layers that's actually being projected on you. And kind of like the Akashic Records. Amir talks about this, about how the Akashic Records have been pillaged. It's kind of like going to the Alexandria library in Egypt and firebombing it, and then spraying graffiti all over the books and ripping out pages and imagining somebody putting like their own books of history of how they want it to be read. This is what's happening right now, and no one's questioning anything. Like everybody's just now getting into the idea of death traps being real. And remote viewers are starting to see it now. Major people are talking about it now, and it's always been this kind of stuff that was like conspiracy theory, even amongst the community. It's always been a conspiracy theory because everybody has their opinion about what happens, man. Like I've died twice just as Drago in a non-public way. So the public version of me has died twice. I've been killed more times than I've ever admitted, and you can see this in my Akashic record. You can see it in remote
It
viewing.
wasn't always me killing you, but I did kill you a lot.
Yeah, me and her had to go after each other a lot. Like Julia has always been spicy, and she is Vanya. She is Vanya from that series.
Yeah,
They
Umbrella
always block
Academy.
the umbrella. They always block it. It's just like they won't ever remember
It's
the name
Umbrella
of that ship.
Academy. It's not
Yeah,
my
she's
fault.
Vanya. Yeah, yeah.
If
So
you,
imagine it. It's kind of like Jean Grey in the movie X-Men Last Stand, where Wolverine set in and Jean
yeah.
Grey's killing everybody. And Wolverine, the only way he can stop her is to let her melt his flesh off piece by piece as he's slowly coming at her to then send that damn claw in. And this is why I have Wolverine claw tattoos. He's one
See,
of the people I've always been closest to, and a lot of
in
people
my
don't know
head,
that.
as your beta, I am designed to take you out if you go rogue. Right? There's programming that activates if you go off mission, because the mission is the most important thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that kicks in when you go off mission. If you go rogue, then I have to complete the mission and take you out. That's what it is in my head. That's why you're feeling like I've killed you. And that's what I said to you when we first reconnected. I feel like we've killed each other a lot. So yeah, and I still have that feeling all the time, that kind of like, yeah, keep you on track kind of feeling.
Remember, I had to remote view the possibility of you getting activated and trying to kill
Yeah.
me the time we reconnected for the first time in the here and now outside the programs at the conference, at Bases conference. And don't think for 1 minute that I knew that I didn't know that they could activate you in any moment. Even though it was remote viewed, I still know that there's possibilities where they can just Agent Smith your ass and turn
I
you
knew
into
it.
somebody I don't want to see.
And I
And
was
what that would have done
terrified.
is that would have turned me into somebody I don't want to be.
Yeah,
You know
I
what I'm
honestly,
saying?
I talked to my friends about it and I was like, I want to see you, but I know there's a high possibility that something could go wrong. And I was talking to Olivia James about this just before, the night before I started to travel down. They tried to drown me in the bathtub. And my altar brought me forward, and I could see myself pushing someone under the water, but it was my altar trying to wake me up, is what Olivia said, because I was drowning in the bathtub. So that was just a warning of like, comply or we're going to kill you. But I woke myself up and I controlled myself. It was fine. I had an upgrade anyway. You overwrit my field, yeah, with your
Interesting.
talk.
Interesting too is they've literally killed me twice just within the last 3 months. All the remote viewers can see it. It's just like they try to kill me and I won't. It's like I keep coming back. My coding is so strong with my root energy of my Black Void Dragon and having those architect codes that if you try to wipe me out, the code rewrites itself because the dragons are the co-creators of the hologram. Like we help create
Yeah,
these simulations, these holographic matrices, because outside of that, we're just light bodies.
yeah.
And it's really boring of being a light body in the land of woo woo and light, and you can't. There's not much to do. You can't. you can't go to this beach resort that doesn't exist because you're freaking light, man. Like all these higher light realms, sure, there's love everywhere, but honestly, it's boring as fuck. That's why we created these holographic simulation worlds, man, because like imagine just being love and light and that's it. And there's no antithesis. There is no combatant. There is no dark or light. It's only just love and light, man. Like there's no evolution in that. Source needs to know what it is, so it created duality, and we helped physically constitute that duality by creating worlds and physics and laws and creations and universes that help reflect creating more awesome versions of ourselves. It's like Michael asked earlier, people that aren't SSP, like that were
Yeah.
never offered that opportunity to become special. And that's what it is, man. We're special. That's why they target us so much with the targeted individual program, the TIROC program that Olivia talks about constantly.
Yeah, we're all in it. It's in my records as well. So there's a light-hearted question from Tan saying, he's literally put that, who is your favorite MMA fighter?
That's tough. Most of my life, it involves me watching hours of fighting and mixed martial arts every day. But I don't see a fighter that I really follow the most. You know what I'm saying? I've never been asked that question before, so that's interesting. And I'm shocked to discover that there is not a person, because what I've learned in combat, I haven't met a lot of people that's very, very fluid in combat. I see a lot of one-hit wonders. You know, if you're a good boxer, you're a good boxer. But like, there are some greats in the MMA, 100% greats, but like, they're not great anymore. You know, they had the reign. I don't know, man. I just remember the greats of the past. You know, I guess one of my number one influences has always been Bruce Lee since I was a child. And a lot of my memories start around age 13, and the ones before that, I don't have a lot of Drago memories. I have a lot of program trauma memories. But Bruce Lee's always been my number one man, period. You know, be like water, you know, flow like water. Whenever I'm facing an obstacle, that always plays in my hand. Be like water. What does water do? Water can get it can get through anything. It can cut solid rock over time, you know, but I'm not really thinking of anybody right now. And I follow, you know, I watch a lot of MMA stuff, but like once you're in the SSP and what they teach us in combat, what they're doing in the MMA is nothing. It's like a watered down joke of real combat. And I think I don't watch it a lot because like there's too many roles. Like every time someone's about to lose, the damn referee comes in and prevents them from knocking them out or something. It's just like, I don't know. I'm more of like a K1 fan, you know, take off the gloves, fight with actual fists. You know, sure, you don't want to kick down the nether regions, but like Thailand combat, I'm more of a Muay Thai guy. You know, there's a lot of great Muay Thai fighters that can kick the living crap out of MMA people. But again, MMA is where it's at, man. I've been doing martial arts since I was a child. They taught us martial arts, and it's something I can't turn off. Every day I think about combat, martial arts. I'm always doing katas and all these. It's funny if you can see me behind the scenes. I'm always just dancing and doing martial art katas, man.
So Anthony Zender, he's a fighter, wasn't he? Is he still fighting?
I don't know if he's still fighting. I know he's a badass martial artist, though. Me and him were hanging out at the Hawaii conference a couple weeks back, and me and Zender and Sean Bond, we serve in the same unit in different factions and stuff. And I've always told Zender I would not want to fight him in combat.
I actually looked up his stats the other day, and he's a lot shorter than I imagined. And because I think he and I were paired up in the programs at some point, because I do have a memory of him. I think it might have been Night Warfare, I don't know. Anyway,
be aware of the smaller guy in combat, because they can get through places most bigger guys can't. And like the smaller you are, a lot of times the faster you are. because like
Yeah.
sheer big muscle, unless you're augmented and hybridized and stuff, and you got mechanical arms or you got like an exosuit that's something going to make you punch faster, man. Again, beware of the smaller guys. I've watched him fight. That dude in the SSP, that dude really kicks ass and like that.
Yeah.
He's extremely brutal.
Mm. So I've got a list of questions, guys, but please keep putting your questions in the chat. So the next question was from Tanya. It was about, for a regular person who's not in the SSP, do you have any tips on how they can evolve their consciousness?
Most of the greatest minds on the planet are being targeted. You need to know what level of targeting you are being hit with first before you can really expand your consciousness, because no matter how many programs you come across or stuff on YouTube about how to activate your third eye, a lot of it you're being prevented from accessing it. And a lot of the stuff that's being put out, it's limited hangout kind of stuff, and it's only partial keys to full awakening. So I would say you need to find practitioners that can see who's hitting you first. Because assume that you're a part of this conversation now. I'm going to assume you're in the programs flat out. Most of the people that resonate with these subjects, they're in the programs, and they're just basically rediscovering stuff that they already know and makes them feel like home. Like, think about that. Like, if what we always talk about feels like it's part of your life, but you have no memories, but you resonate with all of it, more than likely you're part of the programs. But as for awakening, man, you have to identify. I mean, that's a really loaded question. I can't just answer it in a couple of sentences or a couple of paragraphs. First, you have to identify what your blocks are. What are your obstacles right now? Because no matter what someone recommends you to do, if there's entities or there's handlers or there's something preventing you from activating your third eye 100% or even turning it on where it's noticeable results, a lot of people don't question that. And most of the consults I do, when I start, I don't talk about this a lot. I during my consults, sometimes I show that I'm psychic, and it's kind of freaky. But I don't talk about it a lot because I did the psychic thing for a little bit, and people kept treating me like I was the internet. People just always wanted to message me and have me answer their questions constantly, and it got too much. I forgot what I was talking about because I got to the part where I felt too used. What were we talking about?
Yeah, I can relate to that as well because I can do prophecy. I don't tell people that I do prophecy because when I say something that I shouldn't know, I've had people get angry with me in the past. And I used to work in construction, and people just didn't like it if I would say something and then it would happen. And it's like when you get branded like a witch or whatever, which openly I was a witch. But yeah, so I generally don't I don't put myself out there. I say I'm an oracle weaver, weaving timelines, things like that. But there's some things that I don't share, like the amount of things that we can actually do. I don't always share the gifts that we have. Some things need to be a mystery, don't they? Yeah, no, that's fine about evolving consciousness. What do you do personally? Do you do meditation? Do you do what kind of reflection do you do to like expand your mind?
The only way you can really truly move forward is you have to heal your trauma. If you're living in the past, only you know that. If most of your thoughts come from stuff that happened in the past and you're literally holding on to it and it's like it's boiling you, you're causing your own de-evolution. We see this with client sessions constantly. It doesn't matter if I bust out dowsing rods or if I use my psychic abilities or if I use a QHHT session to tell you that. That's what's happening. You have to identify what your blocks are, and a lot of that is trauma. If you have not healed something, if someone broke your heart and you base every future relationship on the one that got away and you can't commit because you have a wall over your heart, you're not going to activate your third eye. You have to get past the heart chakra first before it allow you to speak your truth, before you can truly see. It does not go backwards. Your third eye doesn't open and then you learn how to speak and then your heart opens. You have to rise the kundalini, and the entrance fee is the heart. You got to get out of the root chakra, the lower two chakras. Most people are stuck there. They have this orangish reddish energy and they just want to protect themselves. They don't trust people. Nothing's a synchronicity to them. Everything's random chaos. They're a victim. You can't live life that way. So if you're expecting like an awakening, you're not going to get it. And that's why decade after decade after decade, your life might get, I'm just talking about everybody. I'm not talking about a specific person. That's why decade after decade after decade, your life doesn't get better. It gets actually harder because it's kind of like somebody putting on a 500-pound anchor on your body. And the analogy is you're a boat trying to sail in the ocean. You have this 500-pound anchor keeping you in this timeline of the past. You
Mm.
can't have the higher awakenings over here. If this is the center, this is a neutral timeline, and everything over here, imagine vertical slits kind of like that. Every slit here, every slit going this way is better than the timeline next to it here. All these timelines exist. There's nothing someone can tell you that's going to magically pop you into a new timeline. Only you can put yourself there. You have to manifest. In order to manifest, you have to create your reality. In order to create your reality, you got to step the fuck out of the past and let the shit go, man. Just stop thinking about it. The universe is watching. All the ETs are watching. They're seeing that you truly just won't let it go, period. I tell this to my clients constantly. You can't change what's happening in your life, but you can choose not to respond to it. You don't have to forgive someone to their face. You can forgive them to the universe and just walk away. It doesn't matter if you live with them. Stop stop initiating contact. Stop responding to text messages. Stop
Mm.
allowing this past trauma to just come up and smack you in the face. That's it. There's no magic that I can tell any client that's going to stop their own repetitive behaviors that keep them locked in this timeline. All these timelines exist. All these. All if this is the main timeline, if all these timelines over here are negative and all these timelines over here are positive, most people are here in the negative. And their thoughts, if they don't let the past go, they pop in these timelines over here. And all these timelines are all happening at the same time. You as a soul can choose what timeline you want to experience. Everybody's like, Drago, your SSP experience doesn't really count because you're from another timeline. I am quite literally here embodied in this physical flesh. And you're right,
Mm.
my spirit is not from this timeline. I do not belong here. I came here on an operation to help wake people up. I don't want to be
Mm.
here. This timeline freaking sucks. It's nothing but trauma. It's
Mm.
nothing but elites rolling. It's nothing but extraterrestrials controlling the elites. And we have no sovereignty anymore. It's the illusion of being free. And we have just enough freedom to make us think we're free, but we're not.
Mm.
And like, if you really want to wake up, if you really want to activate your third eye, you need to start waking up people around you. You need to stop living in the past. If you want an amazing timeline, I told a client this today. I just found a notebook that I was writing 5 years ago. And 5 years ago, I think it was October of 2019, and I dated it. And I was writing down where I wanted to be in 5 years. And then I was writing down where I want to be in 10 years. I shit you not, every single line I wrote on that thing came true. Every detail, everything. I was laughing because there was not one that did not come true. I created the reach in my mind. I'm like, I'm going to wake up this many souls. I'm going to be speaking on stage. People will be downloaded and activated when they hear my voice. People will write books about me and everything I ever did. And it all started coming true. I saw it in my mind. You have to create it. You can't just be stuck in the present connected to the past. You have to let it go, let go of the baggage. That's the way you activate into the meditation working, the third eye activating, the walking through life and seeing everything is beautiful again. Because, like, we've all had so much trauma where we walk through life on our cell phone. You'll be walking down the street and you're on your freaking cell phone and life is passing you by. I see this everywhere I go. People don't even cross the street anymore without being on their cell phone, and they don't even look up anymore. I'm watching these kids on e-bikes and electric scooters. They don't even look across the street anymore. When that green light goes that they can pass, they go indiscriminately. And I'm like, what the hell happened to everybody? No one's really looking for an awakening anymore. No one's going inside anymore. They're going into a damn device, and that's the
Mm.
problem.
Mm.
Put the device down. If you think about this, everybody, I'm going to ask you an existential question. if you can guess, how many hours a day are you on your cell phone, on social media, including the internet, on a computer? Think about that. How many hours a day are you distracted, not living life, by seeing more interest in what's happening around the world than in your own life? And that's what's causing our lack of awakening. We're falling deeper asleep. We're no longer creating anymore because we don't do the work anymore. AI is here. We can simply ask the question to AI, hey, what's the answer? We no longer have to look for the answer anymore. It's causing de-evolution. It's causing you to get lower, lower, lower to that red chakra where everything around you makes you reactive because you haven't healed, you haven't done the internal work, you haven't let things go, you haven't healed yourself. Most people have not healed themselves. You know, a lot of people in the SSP, they're psychotic in real life. And a lot of us practitioners, we talk about this and other SSP experiences, we talk about this behind the scenes about people, they're like fake in their
Oh,
public personality, but when you get to know me as a person, I'm the exact same person in real life. I talk the same way. I'm as genuine. I'm not some secret psychopath. I am at face value with who I am. And most people are not. It's because I've healed myself. I've done the QHHT sessions. I forgive the people who raped me and traumatized me in the programs. You know what I'm saying? Let it go. It doesn't matter. That was my entry fee for greatness to become so powerful in the SSP. That was my entry fee. Without that, I would be a regular person digging potatoes, like Dolores Cannon said, you know?
okay. So next question I've got here is from James Whitacus, and it's about shock troopers. He wants to know more about shock troopers. What do you remember? Do you know who they worked for? What kind of missions
With
they went on?
First of all, every faction has shock troopers. Can you be more specific?
He's just saying, do you have some information on shock troopers, like who they worked for and their missions? I think we did touch on this last time as well.
I remember us talking about this, but again, shock troopers are some of the best of the best. It's not just you're put in a specific uniform. You have to earn that uniform. You have to earn that exosuit, that armor. And most of the people that are shock troopers, they went through some of the most mind control, some of the most horrific programming. They are the ones that can get shot and barely react because they've been programmed to be cut and to be shot, just like we were as kids. We were beaten almost every day and we were taught to not react. Those are the ones that you put in first to destroy the best of the best. Like me and Julia, we're known as watcher class assets. That means we're there to monitor, evaluate, and to take out other assets that go rogue, just like I'm doing. I went rogue. Julia went rogue. We were on an original team that would take out the people speaking because we were programmed to and we were lied to. We were given files that made people look evil as hell because a part of that wasn't we weren't just Manchurian candidates. If you were in Merge, and there weren't a lot of us that were in Merge, Merge was designed for all the kids that were waking up that couldn't be permanently programmed, and they may have had an Omega class rating, which means they are some of the most important, most of the most powerful hybrids that were ever created on Earth or these other planets, and that's what Omega class rating is. Um, the people in the X-Men that was closest to Professor X, almost all of his teachers were all Omega class because they can do other things that other like Nightcrawler, he's not Omega class. He can just portal from one place to another. Storm's Omega class. She can start storms and she can cause tsunamis. She can kill millions of people. Just like Magneto, he can literally take a tectonic plate of the planet and turn it over on itself if he really pushed himself to do so. That's Omega class. And the shock troopers, there's a lot of Omega class shock troopers, and a lot of them in real life in the SSP, a lot of them they don't really have personalities. They're just it's almost like looking into. There's a movie called Soldier with Kurt Russell, and it came out I don't know early 2000s or something. Coincidentally, I have the main bad guy's costume from that movie, Kane. I think his name was Jason Scott Lee or something. He's the one that played Bruce Lee in Dragon, the Bruce Lee story. I have his secret space program outfit and I own it. And there's no more left in the public. I have one of the original ones from that series, but we were talking about earlier about my costume collection and my movie props, and maybe I'll show some of those coming up in a future show or something.
Okay, I'm just putting a message in. Guys, don't repeat the questions, please, because I'm trying to note them down, so don't repeat them. So there is a question from Newskin, and he's saying, according to rare sources out there, possibly a Kruger origin message, there's a new interstellar border. It could be Nakdwafen or YNK quarantine of inner soul, 60, is that million kilometers off Ceres. Is this accurate? Do you think there's that the border shifted? I think he has spoken about this on a video. Does
I
that
don't
make
recall it.
sense?
I don't recall
Okay.
anything about it. Not
Okay.
anything current.
Okay. Okay. So the next question on the list is from Christy Campbell. Do you think that in the future you might do your own conference?
I'm built for my own conference. A lot of there's been a few people that started conferences and it was off my coattails. And I helped people create a lot of these conferences, the infrastructure, and I did all kinds of stuff for people for these conferences. And I had a lot of my ideas jacked by them.
I
Um,
personally, I think you should do a 1 day workshop where you do one topic in the morning, one topic in the afternoon. So I do like afternoon retreats, and they go really well. So like a 1 day feature with like an affordable ticket, I think that would work out great for you. I really do. Yeah.
I see doing local events, but if
Yeah.
I'm doing conferences, I'm not built for small scale conferences. A lot of the people that I've talked to, I'm only built for big conferences. And I only say that is because I come from like a 20-year history of doing tattoo conventions.
Mm.
That's why I know so much about the entertainment side and what a conference should be and what all the pitfalls and the problems of standard conferences are. And I guess I've spoke my mouth way too much to people that have conferences and they've took a lot of my ideas. And it sucks, man. But what I'm looking for is I'm looking for someone who has a lot of money because it takes a lot of money to throw a conference, and it's not no joke, man. Like you could spend $120,000 just to pay for a conference before you make a dollar profit. You know, it's a lot of money, and I'm literally I've been holding off. People's offered to start conferences with me, but
Mm.
I've from all the years I've dealt with these people and people bringing me into their conferences and saying I'm a part of it or I'm on their board of trustees. It's just a bunch of lies, and people just want to use other people to become famous, and they just don't want to give anybody any credit. So I'm looking for a person who has that kind of money, who can invest and maybe lose money the first couple of years of a conference because it takes a lot of money to build something big. And if you have to lose money in the beginning, a lot of these people throwing in second year conferences, they're realizing they don't make a dollar after they pay for everything because it costs more money to put it on than it does in making profits of people showing up. So they just make it so expensive. This is why we don't have large scale conferences everywhere. You know, that's the problem because they make it so expensive for everybody that most people can't even afford the tickets sometimes. Like some of these conference they start at like $500 for conference tickets,
Mm.
man. Like that's too much. I would never have a conference where it's that expensive. I would want to make it so affordable to people where people they have to be standing up in the back and we only let so many people in rooms and that's how it needs to be. I'm just waiting for that great moment, man. But yeah,
Sounds
in the
cool.
future my conferences will be amazing, I promise.
Yeah.
I cannot
Um,
wait.
there's a question from John Whitberg in the chat. What advice would you give those of us who have some kind of curse where envisioning causes something to not happen? I've actually dealt with this. It's a program.
Okay, so first I would need to put you under, John, and I would have to take you to that specific partitioning program that is identifying hashtags of words you use that then activate your programming. So I would need to see how deep that rabbit hole goes, and that's something you would need to write down as a focal point for us completing during your session. And if that's part of the biggest part of your programming, then I need to identify what the exact program is. Like, what are the characteristics you exude that put you further into programming that prevents you from being able to break out of what you're trying to break out of without going into any specific detail about it? And if you want to give a follow-up question, definitely.
That's great, thank you. I'm just scanning the chat there. So I've got a list of questions, guys. So from Nathan Fox is saying, who's your favorite military commander, strategist, or tactician?
Sun Tzu, The Art of War. We were taught that as children. That was the number one book we were taught. Up here, I have a lot of Japanese books on military doctrine. And these are all the books they forced us to read as children because I was going to be fast tracked as a commander because who I was, soul class. But these are all my original books that I've had since I was at least 14 or 15 years old, and they followed me my entire life. Sun Tzu's always been number one, that taught us all our psychology to use in the battlefield. Another great strategist is Miyamoto Musashi. He wrote the Book of Five Rings. How to fight with dual swords, knowing how your opponent is going to react 5 steps before your opponent does. I think about the art of war constantly, especially from the Sun Tzu stuff. Everything about me is tactical. Everything about me is long game. If I do something, there's a method for my madness. I do not do random chaos. Everything I do is pre-planned, and that goes all the way back to my childhood. So all the memories I have from age 13 on, it's all military, it's all tactician, it's all the art of war. So that's a big part of who I am because that's how my mind works.
Do you play chess? Because I could never play chess. I don't know if it's a different altar that can play chess. I remember playing Russian checkers in a Russian lab with somebody, and they've also said they remember playing it with me.
Yeah, I used to play chess a lot back in Texas. I had a chessboard at my tattoo shop, and me and my clients would play, or me and my friends. My friends would just come out and play Rock Band at my tattoo shop and play guitars while I'm tattooing. And it's funny is that got me singing publicly on Rock Band. I'd just be rocking out, being the lead singer, singing these cover songs, and clients would walk in, and I'll be like, "Hey guys, we're gonna be with you in a little while. We need to finish up these songs." It's so funny, man.
That's so cool. So there was a question about handlers, and we just did a big show with Olivia James talking about handlers, guys. That's definitely one to go back and watch. But they're asking, what is the role of a handler and how to identify one?
A handler is a person that was assigned to you that works for the programs, or it could be ET handler, meaning that a soul incarnated into a family member body or a person you would fall in love with, and it's done to manipulate you. But most handlers that come from government programs, it's the people you love, it's the people you had relationships with, it's your father, it's your mother, it's your children. You have no idea who your handler is going to be. This is long-term game. They have people incarnate to handle you in ways you'll never see coming. Your handler will be your boss at your job that you thought you chose to go work for with your own decision. And you then find out when you get a QHHT session that they did a ceremony or they placed you in the job that you had. And this is why you have these series of really crappy bosses, or you go to a certain job and you find a certain type of employee over and over and over that's just really bad for you and it's toxic and like you just can't get away from them. A lot of those are handlers. No one's ever questioning that. And when we put people under, we find out that they themselves are in the programs as well. And what I specialize the most is identifying who the handlers are in your life. And I can only do that through a hypnosis session in person. I need to have you in person. I need to interrogate your higher self. Because my sessions are really big deep dives, especially SSB stuff. If you watch any of my stuff online, the sessions I'm releasing on YouTube, you see that I do a lot of deep dive stuff. You give me a general idea and I'll just do a shotgun level of questioning to get these answers for people. But you need a literal hypnosis session. I don't know a lot of people that can tell you the names of the people that are the actual handlers without being ambiguous. Oh yeah, there's someone in your family, or like maybe it's someone you work with. I will tell you their exact name because your higher self will give it to me to show it to you. And I can even bring that handler's higher self in to speak through your body to interrogate them. Why are you here? Do you know you're doing this voluntarily? Was you sent on a mission? Are you lying to the person? Do you have full memories of this? Like, you do not want to be on my couch if you are someone's handler and you're in the secret space program, because they know I will pull them out by force. And a lot of these handlers, they can't fight me. They're not more powerful than me. I've only come across one single being ever in over 1,000 hypnosis sessions that would not enter the body when I commanded it. One. It blew me away. I was laughing in this session. I was just like, whoa, I am blown away. There's no one that cannot fight me in these sessions or not do what I told them to do. Wow. But that session, he was one of her biggest protectors, and he was wearing a level of armor that was even preventing me from forcing him into the client's body, which I've never even heard of until that moment. So that even blew me away.
So they're saying, do they turn assets into handlers? Yeah, handlers are assets.
By definition, yes.
Yeah.
We are each other. Like, I'm technically your handler. When you fucking go crazy and doing this shit, I've got to use activation codes on you to make you more compliant. Like me being a commander.
I'm
I
pretty
use
compliant.
activation codes on my own soldiers. That's how it works.
I could be less compliant, to be honest. I'm a pretty good twin. I admit it, I'm a pretty good twin. It could be worse.
Like, I can give you a handler code that makes you go into standby.
You know what? Hearing Michael Aquino's voice put me in standby within like 10 seconds. It really did.
And then you're nothing. There's nothing behind you're just staring. There's no thoughts.
I was just sitting on the edge of my bed listening to his voice, and 15 minutes went by, and then I thought, what just happened? Like, I just pulled myself out of it and realized, oh my God, I went in standby mode. Yeah, I was waiting for a code or something. That's fucked up. So if I come out in 2027 to have my QHHT session, is that going to be weird?
No.
No. Are you going to disassociate, or like, what if I'm talking about you and stuff like that?
Will I dissociate?
Yeah.
I've never done that ever.
So like if I'm saying something about like something that we've done in the programs and it's horrific, are you just going to sit there and be like, okay, just note it all down?
I've already defeated all my programming. I've already deactivated the back doors. If you can scan me, you're going to see that that's true. So there's nothing that ever comes forward that ever activates an altar. Altars do not come forward with me ever. I have no memories of altars ever coming forward. And that's not normal with people in the programs, because most people, their altars come forward. I'm one of very few people that it does not happen to, and that's why they call me my call sign Spectre, because I'm Spectre class. And most people will never be Spectre class, because Spectre class is outside the mind control. It operates in its own sovereignty, and when you try to put it into a secret space program programming, that's why I kept waking up. That's why they end up putting me in merge, because all the programming that kept trying to do it kept backfiring on them, because my code ends up rewriting itself, because I contain the original coding because of that Black Void Dragon stuff, that creation of these holograms. So ultimately it's hard to program the programmer of like the holograms in the matrix. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I'm the creator hologrammer of this matrix we're in. I'm just saying the dragons help co-create those, and there's a number, it's more than trillions, and the words above that in alphabet, it's so many worlds that there's not even a number that humans can understand, let alone an AI system. That's how many infinite worlds there are.
So last week or 2 weeks ago, I had a rapid transformational hypnotherapy with Virginia Casella. It's supposed to be for weight loss. But I went into a hypnotic state very, very fast. And she said I was easily suggestible, which is not what I wanted to hear. And but she said on the video, my eyes cross over. Like she makes me put my eyes off and they cross over. And then she basically asked me to go back into a memory of when I felt that I needed to make myself big to protect myself. And I went back to age 14. And I was in the programs, and she's saying, well, what's the memory? What's the feeling there? And I just started crying and shuddering. And it was like, I'm not perfect. And because I'm not perfect, I'm being punished. And then I was explaining that I was on the floor, and someone had their knee on my chest, and it wasn't you, but they had my knee on my chest. And it was like, it came back to, I didn't want to be the perfect soldier because I didn't want to get taken. So I was self-sabotaging, basically. And I was trying to make myself undesirable so I would not get taken. and do awful things, because you know what I'm capable of. I didn't want to do those things. And so yeah, so that's where it's kind of been up and down, yo-yo, weight gain, loss, like my whole life. And there's been times when I've been tiny, like a tiny little fae, you know. And that's obviously not who I am right now, but it was very interesting anyway. Age 14, age 17, and then we went back to age 4, and I literally was just like a robotic Zeta child. Like I had no emotions whatsoever. I didn't know what happy was or anything. She was trying to pull out a happy memory. It just didn't happen. Yeah, so it was a very successful session because I'm not drinking my Pepsi Max, and for me that's a major thing. That's
That's
something
a
that I
big
was going to
deal.
get you to help me with. Yeah, I know, because you know I'm like Anna, but it actually has done something. So yeah, so it's really good. So when was the last time you had a hypnosis session?
I haven't had a hypnosis session in probably 3 years. I don't find a lot of practitioners that have the ability to put me under.
Yeah,
Because remember, if you're in the secret space program, you are very easy to put under. I know that a lot of people say, no, no, I'm really hard to put under. You were programmed to be put under just like
yeah.
that. Snapping a freaking finger, you were designed to go under. So if you may have been in situations where you could not have gone under, but you're not realizing there was a low level of targeting hitting you. And we're seeing this with QHHT sessions when someone was available or did finally was able to go under. Like a lot of the SSP people, they come to me because they've had a bunch of these other sessions with people and it was really light. There wasn't a lot of experience, and I'm hearing this from everybody. And I guess that's why people recommend me, because I don't do anything light. Everything I do is deep. And it's so deep that your body doesn't even really move almost the entire session. Whatever position you lay down in before I put you under, you're locked in that position most of the time. So like I'm just used to deep sessions. Like I can't think of many SSP people that I wasn't able to put under that I didn't discover through a mirror or remote viewing that something was preventing them from going under in that session.
So
What was the,
I
what was
get a
the
lot.
question?
I can't remember now, but I get a lot of frequency. And Wisdom Makers is saying he was 7 years old when he
When did I
started
get a
to.
QHHT session
Yes,
myself?
that was the question. Do you ever get high frequencies like
Every
coming
day.
in? Yeah.
Every day.
So is it tinnitus, or is it because I get elemental sounds? So I literally get air element coming in and things like that. I get spirit messages on my right and I get targeting on my left basically most of the time. It's just like, and sometimes it's like loud bangs. Do you get that?
You need to definitely look into. I hate to say this, but you saying that one side means angel, one side means devil, that is not good.
Oh, that's not what I said.
These,
I said I
I
get
understand
spirit
what you
messages from my
said.
guide team, and the other
If
side
that's
feels
the
like
angel,
targeting. Okay,
that's the devil. You're
that's not how I
assuming.
associated it.
They did not design our implants that way. Everything's
Hmm.
binaural. One side will be doing something, one will do the other. There is no one-sided goodness. You need to look into more to that. I don't want to say
Okay,
anything deeper with that.
that's worrying.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
that's how it
totally.
feels. So when I
Yeah,
get a message come in, it feels like it's coming in from the right hand side. Some people call that it's coming in from like the paternal side or whatever, if you're a medium. But this left side has always got a level of noise there that never goes away. And even when I take off, my hearing aids cancel out some of the noise because they're designed to do that. But when I take it off, I can still, all I can hear on that side is noise coming at me all the time. And it's very different on the right hand side. Anyway,
so I don't have tinnitus because tinnitus is defined as something that never turns off. It's constant.
yeah.
But what I'll do is they'll hit me minimum 100 times a day. And the moment I hear it, I will stop and I say, I only react to constructive suggestions.
Mm.
Return to sender times 1,000 with prejudice. And I
Oh,
imagine my dragon fire burning them, and
yeah.
then my mirror reflects their intentions back. So the moment I hear the frequency coming in, I only react to constructive suggestions. That means if it's for your benefit, you're allowing it to enter your field. If you don't have the ability to react to it or have your own opinion again it, that's not being constructive. So you
Mm.
send it back times 1,000. They have to learn. You don't want to just mirror it back to them, because it's like, let's be love and light in the Jedi, and I'm just going to send you your evil back to you. You got to throw some gasoline on it. You got to throw a turbocharger on it on the way back. You got to let them know you're not just going to reverse it. You're going to make it where it's a nightmare receiving their energy back. People have died over it. Literally
So
sending their energy back. When I had an asset that tried to take me out years ago, when that happened, I saw it coming in, and she ended up dying of an aneurysm.
yeah, so I have a slightly different take on returning it back. I return it back with consciousness, because that's what we do in Access Consciousness. So they become fully aware of what they're doing and the impact it could have or whatever. So they get it back, but they get like an waking consciousness with it. So that should shake them out of whatever's going on.
Yeah, but
Um,
you remember there's also technology involved that prevent a lot of our manifesting. I'm not saying you, I'm saying a lot of this is happening to a lot of assets. They say what I'm creating, what I'm manifesting is not actually happening. What is being blocked here? They're using literal technology. Most of the people that Amir's finding when he does a scan on them, he's saying that they have these Knockwaffen helmets bolted to their skull. They have technology bolted to their throats. And these are really powerful people, and they're not even realizing these technologies are actually blocking them. So I'm just saying, look into technologies, whoever's listening to this, look
hmm.
to see if if they're using any technologies on you that's actually blocking your own abilities. A lot of stuff I do, I always verify it. Did this happen? If I'm fighting an ET or a handler, I will verify it with the higher self. After I burn them, tell me what happened to them. Did I actually burn them? And in all my sessions, I confirm that what I did through my own voice during the session had actual effects. You know?
Yeah. Okay, I've got a couple of interesting questions. Michelle is saying the more her abilities come through, the more she feels like she's going blind. Have you ever heard of this?
Yeah, that's something that's happening normally within assets. They don't want you having these abilities, so they take your sight from you. Another thing is, only a QHHT session will give you the answer. Another version is, you're stuck in a toxic situation that you refuse to see. You refuse to leave it. So your eyes start leaving you. And sometimes this manifests in our animals, our cats and dogs. A lot of times when there's something happening to us that we refuse to see, our animal starts going blind. And when I put that person under, I ask about their animals because they asked about their animals, and that was part of their questions. And we've confirmed that animals took cancers from humans and died for them because they wouldn't let go of the past, and it would have killed the humans. So the animal made an agreement to die for the human. The animal made an agreement to take the blindness from the human because the human won't see what's in its face. The animal took the deafness, became deaf because the human refuses to hear what's happening in their face. It's pretty crazy, man, how it all actually works. But one thing I do want to do is bringing up animals. If you guys are in the programs, remove your animals from social media. Do not talk about them in interviews. Do not post photos of them, because that is how they hit us the most. A lot of these demons, a lot of these people that are in the programs that don't like you because they're programmed to not like you and come after you, they'll start doing voodoo on your animals. They'll start remote viewing and sending destructive energy to your animals out of nowhere, and they'll start puking up their guts within a weekend. There was no context, and your animal just died. A lot of the remote viewing we're showing is people are hitting the animals because people are talking about them and showing them on social media. So if I can give you any wisdom of advice, remove your children from social media. Stop posting about them. You're becoming very dangerous. There's a lot of people that can be activated to come after you, and they will come after you by finding your social media, and they're being puppeteered by people in the programs. So if there's any really true advice I can give you to help you maintain your happiness, take everything you love and cherish offline. Do not talk about it publicly, and do not ever post photos or videos of it ever again if you truly cherish them. Because in all these sessions I've done, that's how they hit everything we loved. And it sucks to know that that's the truth. And it's our own ego that wants to put the people thing, our animals and the people we love the most. It's our own ego that wants to show the world And the only side effect that is that's the reason why your kid's in the programs and you have no idea they're even in the programs, you know?
Yeah.
It sucks.
My cat got hit last year. It was like he was intercepting targeting, and so it was slow, but he passed away. It was quite awful. Okay, so there's a question. Do you have a good memory from the programs?
Oh yeah.
Would you like to share?
I don't remember everything. I know I remember a lot. But again, you've heard me give this analogy 100 times. What I know about the SSP is but a grain of sand on a single beach, on a single state, in a single on a single planet in the ocean of the cosmos. Like it's so complicated and convoluted of a subject that the more I discover, the more I realize I truly know nothing.
So
And
do
that's
you
true on
have
television.
memories of Emmerman?
Yeah.
Because Nuskin shared something earlier today, a video of him actually on camera, his voice, and I got a memory, which I'm not going to share publicly, but I got a memory.
I haven't
So
seen that yet.
yeah. So have you got a memory of him just generally, like interacting or?
I helped him run his own fleet. I know a lot about Emmerman.
Mm.
He's the reason why I was assigned to Penny and to Arkeem and to John Whitberg. You know, those are his progeny. So I am pretty intrinsically connected to the pretty top of Emmerman. You know, Yoshiro Surabaya was there as a protector being ran by Emmerman. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, like, Emmerman could have saved me in the end. He could have saved Yoshiro, and he chose not to, which always blew me away because all the shit that I did for him outside of what was written in John's books, the shit I actually, what he was having me doing behind the scenes that most people don't know about, I was too damn valuable. So the fact that when I discovered, because I didn't know about my death, I had no memories of that. And when I discovered that I had died the way I died in book 4 of John Whitberg's series, I was like, I was more upset with Emmerman, if anything, because like I was one of his little golden boys connected to Arasaka and stuff like that. And the shit I got for him and the stuff I did for him, man, that sucks to be so expendable in the end, man. You know?
That's what we are, though. We're expendable.
But that also is the reason why, you know, Nuskin was talking about earlier. That's why I'm so connected to Gabriel Kruger and his sister.
Mm, yeah. Okay. Have you got a favorite movie character archetype for SSP or superhero? Missy Hill is asking. Now, I do plan on doing a show, hopefully, with you and John, and maybe even Michael Koff. We'll see, because Michael Koff and I talk for hours about comics and superheroes. We just did a show, a 2-hour show the other day about it. So, who's your favorite character that you resonate with for superheroes?
I've never found a superhero that reflected who I am in the Disney universe, in the Marvel universe.
Mm.
Let's see if I can reach it.
Because I've got a couple now, like unexpected, and X-Men's come forward, an unexpected character.
The character I've always resonated the most was a character that I knew truly nothing about until I started reading it myself, and it was my own call sign. And when I was told when I was younger, I had command by age 16, and by 18, I was commanding a lot of people. And it was Waffen that gave me the call sign Spectre. And I didn't know who Spectre was until I started reading these comic books about who Spectre is. And Spectre sums me up 100%. If you look at the DC series Spectre, this is who I am. And they call me Spectre Prime in the programs. And before I I had that call sign, they had told me that they created that call sign probably 80 years before I had that call sign. And nobody up to that point had ever filled the role of Spectre Prime because Spectre Prime was an archetype, a possibility, a type of Omega class mutant mixed with other characteristics. And they knew about it, but there's none they ever never had in the programs. And Look up Spectre, man. Just ask the AI, who is Spectre? And this is how it's spelled. And I have this I have this armor that I show people on a regular basis. It's black and brown. I post photos of it on Facebook. That's who Spectre truly is. If I could truly embody who Spectre actually is without having a $20 million piece of armor on that I could show people, because a lot of that armor that we're wearing in the SSP, it starts at minimum 20 million, and it's not cheap. Just the metamaterials alone, the type of technologies, the integrated circuitry, the non-Newtonian fluid fabrics, like it's a lot, man. But favorite characters in the Marvel universe that I've always resonated with would be, I think, around three people, and that first one is Wolverine, because our entire backstory is the exact same. I have permanent amnesia. I have no memories from age 13 before that in Drago's life. So like Drago's civilian life, I don't have a lot. I probably don't have more than 20 memories. I have a ton of memories of the programs because that's taken a lot to unpack. It's taken a lot of sessions. It's taken a lot of remote viewing. It's taken a lot of facing my trauma to give me those memories. And everybody's always asking me, how do I get my memories? You have to face your trauma. All the things you fear, you've got to go face it. If you fear sharks, you've got to go jump in the middle of the damn ocean in Australia or somewhere off the coast of somewhere and swim with sharks. That's the only way to do it. That's how you get your memories. You have to face the traumas that were the cause for a lot of you not having memories. So like when I activate a lot of my memories, I would put myself in very compromising and sketchy situations in order to be around the darkness that created my memory blocks. And proximity to those situations started activating my memories. And it taught me that I had to face all my fears, so I did. All the fears that I had from programming, I faced all those fears. And once I faced each one, I fell in love with each one. And I realized this was all programmed. And that got me most of my memories, was facing my memories. The other character is Doctor Strange. If you know who Spectre is, look at the attributes of Spectre. Spectre, not ER. And that's who you'll see who I truly am. That's who I am in the Secret Space Program. That's Spectre Prime. That's the person that runs my entire fleet. And it's not the person you see here, Drago, that talks the way I do. This is a much more involved personality, a much more intelligent personality, very intimidating, but never lost morality, you know? Like if you ever got to see who Spectre was face to face on my ship, it's very intimidating, you know? Some of you guys remember that. Some of you guys may have been on my ship, the Revenant Shadow, or maybe served with me on the Guardian, you know?
Hmm.
The third one is Blade.
Oh, I love Blade.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
Blade.
badass.
Yeah,
Anyone who's not watched
totally
Blade,
reminds me of
stop
Blade.
right now, go watch Blade.
Blade's one
The
of my
music, the
actually.
playlist, I love that playlist. Oh my
Blade is
god.
my favorite Marvel movie, period.
Yeah.
My second favorite one is Iron Man. If I was a billionaire, I would just be like Tony Stark, man. I would create my secret space program suits. I would buy stock in the secret space program because if you can't fight them, you join them. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I'm going to use your technology and weaponry against you behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? Like the
Mm.
real true Tony Stark, man. That's like a dream of mine. Just let me win some billions or hundreds of millions, and then I'll be the change you want to see around the world, and I'll make shit happen.
Did you connect with Matthew West in Australia? Because he's in the chat. Matthew's saying, they has memories of Spectre Wing under Drago. I remote view into my other version of me, and Drago is like a father to all the kids that have no family. Void Dragon soul like the Grand Wizard. Um, so Matthew West is saying that. Have you connected
What
with Matthew?
what
He's in Australia.
what's Matthew's last name?
West.
I don't know a Matthew West. I know a Matthew Negus from
Okay.
Australia.
Well, he remembers you, so you guys need to connect. Yeah.
Interesting.
And he is on Instagram.
A lot of people tell that story. They see that I'm more the protector than anything. Like I'm the ones that's always overseeing the children and all the girls from Montauk going on these missions, and I'm responsible for all of them. I take them through the portals. I bring them back to fucking base. I make sure if somebody is messing with them or if they're on a job at a strip club and that someone crosses a line, I'm the one that will go cross a line in front of them. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? So I've never been known as the psycho from behind the scenes. I don't care who remembers me. You don't hear a lot of bad stuff about me because I was never that person. I was always the
yeah.
person dying for other people and risking getting and literally getting beaten to death out of retaliation for helping people. But
Mm,
I just stopped caring after a certain point because like torture only lasts so long, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm good at
mm.
torture, getting tortured. You know what I'm saying? I got a black belt in getting tortured, so like whatever. That's the price I'll pay to save any life, period, man.
Yeah, I don't hide the fact that I'm probably a psycho in the programs and that people who truly know me don't want to talk to me. And so I'm still surprised that you talk to me, to be honest. So anyway, so there is a message from New Skin, and he and I have got some overlaps with this as well, because in my ACIO, I was also told that I was Project Ibis. But it seems to be like an offshoot from, it's not the Egyptian god program, it's something else, right? So his question is, he's saying that he's been looking up his records, and he's listed us as Ibis Theta Echo 4C, and he's unsure how to extrapolate which part of Project Ibis that is. And would you know what Theta Echo 4C means, or project specialization?
Sure, that means he has a clone in that program and he's not a person of interest in the program. He's more of a soldier in that program overseeing it like you are. I don't remember anything with you connecting to Ibis and if they modeled an archetype off of you from an ancient past. I don't have those memories. So I don't know.
Yeah. Is Theta a class of soldier?
Theta, yeah. Theta means he's a mind soldier. He can basically project himself into people's minds and he's fucking dangerous. Not
Yeah.
Newskin as a person, that classification's dangerous as hell.
Yeah.
And that's the classification that could put you into Psylocke.
Hmm.
So Psylocke is a name of a character, but it's not her name, it's her ability. Psylocke is
Wow.
to create something in someone's mind that they think they're actually experiencing, but they're in a construct in their own mind. That's what Psylocke
Yeah.
is. Or like
Michael
when we're
Koff
on
said he
mission.
thought that was me. Right on the show the other day. He thought he could see me as Psylocke. Um, I'm not sure I resonate with that right now.
No, you have Psylocke abilities as well. So do I from
Mm,
Merge. We
okay.
have those abilities from other lifetimes, so that wasn't something that was given to us.
Mm. So Theta is the rank, and Echo means clone, of 4C is the designation.
Designation, yes.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. He's put that question there a few times. Yeah. So
Is
I.
the number will be a level and the letter will be a class.
Mm. So I have a memory that I was told by Jessica Morocco that is linked into Ibis, and Ibis came up in my records. And I'm holding a pendant, and it's a time travel crystal, and I'm connected into a time travel ring and a bracelet as well. So, but I'm holding this pendant. I know what age I am. I know what room I'm in, so I know what age it is. 'Cause that particular bedroom had a very big villa when I was growing up, and each year I change rooms and stuff. But then as I'm holding it and I'm thinking about I want to go someplace, and I get swamped in like kaleidoscope colors coming in, and I'm teleporting basically. Um, so yeah, so that is supposed to be Ibis technology, is the time travel
Yes,
crystals. Yeah.
because it's actually time is folding around you.
Mm. But it's totally different to the project that John Whitberg talks about with the 42 Ibis kids. It's not the same project. It's like an offshoot, an umbrella branch or whatever. So yeah, that's all I know. Okay, so questions. We still have more questions for you. What's the most advanced handheld weapon that you remember?
My trident.
Oh, that sounds cool.
This has to do not just secret space program. Um, it's one of my lifetimes, and I have the ability to pull that trident in astrally because a lot of combat in SSP is not physical, it's in the astral because it's the ones who's controlling a lot of this, they're doing it from the astral. They're not doing it from the actual holographic matrix, because there's only the astral. Anything you perceive as physical, you're in a video game. It's not even real. Whatever, all the shit we're experiencing, we're in a fucking video game. So again, astral combat is one of the biggest things. And we were even in astral combat course to learn all this stuff. What was the question?
Best handheld weapon.
Okay, one of my favorites is a Japanese sword that stills your soul. It has runes on it that I use. I'm known to use this. Amir's even talked about it, where this also connects to my draconian, one of my draconian aspects, my general. I have the same type of weapon, and that weapon is very known within the draconian mythos, and that weapon is feared because I have a lot of souls entrapped in it, kind of like my box.
Mm.
So if I vanquish you in battle, your soul belongs to me, quite literally. And I can embed your soul in that forever if I want.
You know, which reminds me of, Loki, and he's got the staff, and then he touches the person's heart, and it takes them over. But you can't do that with Iron Man because he's got the thing there. Reminds me of that. What's your favorite planet?
One of my favorite weapons is a laser sword, though. No matter what combat is, I'm not talking about mythical stuff like I was just talking about. It sounds more mythical in nature, but it's quite literally real, and it's based on crystals. Crystals power all these technologies, but a laser sword's my favorite thing to use in battle, period. And what was the new question?
Your favorite planet? Have you got property off-world? Like some of the other guys have got like a house or a shack or something on a planet. Have you got anything that you remember? Have we got a family house off planet?
I will skip that question.
Okay, that's interesting. You've never done that before. Okay.
Yeah, that's getting into remote viewing and people remote viewing who that family might be and where they are.
Oh, I see what you mean.
They're not
Okay.
into it.
Yeah,
Favorite
that's kind
planet?
of what I meant. I meant like, like Nuskin and John, they talk about, and even Jack Flynn, they talk about owning like a little property on Triton or another planet. So I have memories of Ganymede, of growing up in a underwater dome in Ganymede. That's kind of if I was to go anywhere, that's where I want to go right now and see. Yeah.
One of my favorite planets is actually located in Andromeda, and it was from one of my lifetimes of being a water being. More Pandora-like, more underwater magic. And other than that, Lyra. There's a bunch of planets on Lyra that are my favorites, but they're not like they used to be anymore because they were either destroyed or they're former shells of themselves from all the battle. But that's my home in this universe. My first origin in this universe was Lyran. And I was there at the beginning of the Lyran invasion. And I've told this story a lot, that Yemi Janae, the Farsight Institute, she was the queen of Lyra when the Draconians invaded. And if you can remote view what I'm about to say, you'll see it's true, or just check my Akashic record. I was the hand of the king and the queen during that Lyran life when the Draconians invaded, and they were coming for my crystal array. And I had to give up my life during that lifetime to allow Yimi to get away with the royal family. And I told them that I would infiltrate the Draconians when I die, and that I'll get past their sensing and their oracles, because all souls that come into draconian existence, you have to go through their oracles. And people, they attempt to hijack and come into the bloodline, but that's something that's really highly controlled, and you don't just get to make a choice to do that. And the way I did that was I used my architect codes to get past it all. But Lyra will always have my heart, and that's why me and Yimi, our new podcast is called Echoes of Lyra.
So are you going to be just talking, reflecting? Are you going to have guests on the new podcast?
Yeah, it's going to be a guest-based podcast. So we're gonna try to bring in more Lyran information, maybe make some remote viewings about Lyra, and just a general podcast. But that's our theme of our podcast.
Yeah, that's pretty badass. Yeah. Nuska's got another question, and he and I actually have he is actually my Lyran brother, and we've done a vision quest on that. And he was like going off to the wars, and I was left behind on some planet or whatever, which is a very different dynamic to the connection I have with you. It's weird. So he's saying, as Matthias, I've recall of what Kruger refers to as the preferred partners program for Nachtwaffen officers that allows access to Kruger discounts and commissions or on bounties and contracts. Do you know anything about this? Do you know how this works? Does that make sense? Sorry. So Nuskin talks about like how he's got his dreadlocks when he's Matthias, and he'll go and cut them off and trade it in for like credits or something, or like, is it bund marks or whatever? And yeah, no, okay. Do you know much about Triangulum?
Triangulum?
Yeah.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Okay, it's a star system. Okay, just checking the chat, guys. Please put some new questions in the chat. So is there anything that we've not spoken about that you would like to talk about, like to share with us?
How about we open up some questions to yes or no questions, and I'll do some dowsing rods.
Sure, yeah.
I just started recently telling people that I do dowsing rod sessions. Motherfucker.
So guys, I still need the questions in caps. Otherwise, my mod Kelly is literally going to kick your butt. Because she's pretty hot shit on this.
Yeah, so what we can do is I also I'm doing Julia's Oracle.
Oh, we got the Breakaway.
I'm doing her Breakaway deck. So
The
we're
Breakaway.
going to be doing Oracle sessions, and I'm mixing that with Misha Johnston's Experiencer deck.
Yes. So Misha's deck has got ETs in it, which I don't have in mind. So I designed my deck to go with her deck. Yeah, perfect.
And I'm also doing deep dive shotgun style dowsing rod sessions. So my dowsing rods, they're very fast. And if you gave me a theme, I do shotgun style sessions. So if you generally want to know you're in the SSP, what I'll do with my rods is I ask a bunch of follow-up questions, just one after another, just boom, 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 boom. And it's very intimidating. It's very fast because like, if you give me a theme, I can ask 100 follow-up questions and get them really fast. So what I do is normally when I do a dowsing rod session, I charge $150 an hour. Oracle readings, I do $75 an hour. Consultations, $75 an hour. But dowsing rods, imagine getting like 50 to 75 major answers really fast. And it's a bit overwhelming. So let's now open it up to questions that are yes and no.
Okay, so we've got the first question. Are you ready?
Yeah.
It's from Michelle. She's saying, is her cat still alive?
Is Michelle's cat still alive? Was her cat put on a different path that
went missing? It just went missing. Yeah. It's like, yeah.
Yeah. Would the cat be put on a different path because she needs that cat to act as an anchor for herself? Yes. Is herself in the programs? Yes. Was this an escalation from the programs? Yes. So you're saying that the reason the cat left was because the programs made it leave? Yes. Is there a possibility where she will see this cat again? Yes.
Interesting. She is heavily targeted. So the next question is from Alistair, and he's saying, am I in the SSP? I have no recall.
All right, I'm focusing on his energy right now. Is Alistair in the programs? Yes. Has Alistair been in the program since age 5? Yes. Is Alistair a military abduction? Yes. Are you saying that this was human-based? Yes. Does it also include ET-based abduction? Yes. Was this the Air Force? Yes. Was this also the Navy? Yes. Does Alistair and Drago know each other from the programs? Yes. Does Alistair and Julia know each other from the programs? Yes.
Awesome. So that's Alistair Van Blaze, by the way. So Nuskin is saying, does the Kruger Tower headquarters on New Atlantis, which has got turquoise bluish glass, is it over 100 stories?
Yes.
Is the Alexandria's office a floor below Gabe's?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so Nathan Fox is in the chat. And he says, do I have family ties to the Breakaway elite?
Yes. Is this genetic in nature? Yes. Have they abducted more than him in the programs? Yes. Does that mean that family members are also in the programs? Yes. Did he make an agreement to be in the secret space program in this life? Yes. Were there aspects of him being forced to do things that he did not agree to? Yes.
Okay, my question is, am I on a 60 and back on Mars right now?
Yes.
Fuck's sake. Am I in a war room?
Yes.
Crap. Okay, sorry. that's my admiral one. Linda, so questions, guys, please. Okay, so Ali is saying, should I do self-hypnosis to unlock my abilities?
Yes.
Okay.
You'll notice that when you're asking the question, that it's already answering you the moment. Like I can have a client across from me on Zoom and I'll say, I want you to ask the question in your mind. Don't say it out loud. And the moment you ask it, you'll see the rods answer you from across time and space. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. Oh, I've got another question for me. Sorry. So when I go to Belgium, oh my God. So will I get targeting in Belgium?
Yes.
Okay. Is this going to be by Russian? Oh shit. Yes, the Russians. The Russians are really bad right now.
Is
And
this direct? Is this directly Murkoff? Definitely
well,
Murkoff.
Olivia James called them the Blessed Guard. Is it the Blessed Guard? No.
Is Murkoff also known as the Blessed Guard? Interesting.
Interesting.
So it's one entity, not separate, not different factions.
So, because she referenced the Blessed Guard as working with Project Oblivion. Yeah.
That's correct.
Okay, that's correct. She also talked about Ronin, mercenaries. So, am I getting targeted by Ronin?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know anything about that?
Interesting. Ronin was one of my call signs.
There's a movie, right? There's like a spy movie about Ronin, I'm sure.
Yep.
Yeah. Is Drago aware of somebody who has a call sign, the Prince of the East? Subconscious connection? No. Okay. Is this person the Prince of the East, somebody that we interact with on a regular basis? No. Okay.
It's actually yes and no.
Yes and no. Is it somebody that we've hosted on our podcasts? Oh.
No.
Okay. All right. That's just something from what Olivia James said about like a major Oblivion agent, a Chaos agent. Okay.
Has Julia had major Project Oblivion Chaos agents as guests on her show? Yes. Have I had those same agents on my show? Yes.
You know the questions I want to ask about that. I'm not going to. Entertainment Extreme Network, you need to pop in a yes or no question in the chat if you would like to have that reading. Missy Hill is saying, you ready? Yeah. She's saying, am I some kind of program? Am I in some kind of program in Greenland? Missy Hill in Greenland? Okay. Yes. Is Missy Hill in a program in Antarctica? Yes. That's yes to both, Missy. Entertainment Extreme Network is Armando saying, was he in the Orion Wars?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Is he still in the Orion Wars? Yes.
Okay.
I told you that it never ended. It's so crazy.
Yeah, I agree. We've got this thing about knacked waffles. It's really funny. It's just putting that in the chat. Belgium knacked waffles. Should I? Okay, so Kelly is saying, so my friend Kelly is saying, should I go full on in my healing certification? Okay. Yes. Should Kelly get the crystal bio bed that I sent her the other day? Yes.
Yes.
See, I told you. Crystal Biobed is absolutely badass. Taking that to a conference, people lie down on that, plug it in. You don't even need to do anything.
Should Kelly learn multiple modalities of Reiki? Yes. So
just
you're
do the
saying she
regular
should not.
Reiki, then do the violet flame Reiki with me, basically. Yeah.
That sounds awesome. Should Kelly do at least 3 modalities of Reiki?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, just do Reiki level 1 or 2 normal, and then come and do my Violet Flame Reiki Mastery program, which is absolutely amazing. Okay, so Wizard Wick has had one. Where's it gone? He says, am I helping Nibiru heal? Yes. Okay. Tan says, does the earth have a soul?
Yes.
Okay.
The soul in the earth is no different than you. We get to a certain level with hierarchical evolution, with different incarnations we have, what we do between lifetimes, what we do in lifetimes, and that allows you to become something greater than yourself. So the soul that inhabits Gaia right now is no different from than you and I. And that soul has had a human body, it's had an extraterrestrial body, it's been an elemental, it's been an animal, it's been a plant. So that's what's amazing about this. So treat plants and animals as yourself, because it is actually you, no matter what it is.
Okay, so Nathan Fox is asking, he says, do I have high-ranking Nachtwaffen altar?
Yes.
Yeah. Can you figure out what that is?
If you want to ask a yes or no question.
Is he above a certain level? Pick one. So
is Nathan at a commander level within the Nachtwaffen regime? Yes. Okay. Does Nathan control a large regiment or a unit? Yes. So you're saying he's not just a soldier? Yes. So you're saying he has big responsibility? Yes. Is Nathan a big player in the SSP? Yes.
Do Nathan and I know each other in the SSP?
Yes.
Interesting.
Nathan and I know each other in the SSP? Yes.
So are you and I on a mission together right now somewhere?
Yes.
Dodgy.
Are we ever not on a mission together somewhere?
There are times when we're on separate missions.
Quite literally, no.
There must be. Okay, I've just found there was a question there. Where's it gone? Misty Hill is asking, are the doors open for me to go to bases in November? Bases conference. Yes, Missy, you need to book a flight. Ali is asking, am I in Solar Warden? Condolences.
Yes. Is she also in Nachtwaffen?
I think Ali might be a guy.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Kelly's going to be super busy. Yeah, get on it. So, Earth Grid Rescue Mission. So Michelle is saying, is it my mission to do the Earth Rescue Plan I was given?
Yes, that was answering itself before the question was even full. So definitely get off your lazy butt and do it. I'm not saying you're not doing it, but now's the time. Do it.
Yeah. Okay. Does Wizard Wickus have psionic planetary terraforming abilities?
Yes.
Okay. Right. Tan is saying, does the Earth have several layers of aura?
Yes. Would you say this aura is frequency based? Is it like the color spectrum? Yes. So would you say that there's more than 10 levels? Yes. Would you say there's more than 100 levels? Yes. Would you say there's more than 1,000 levels? Wow, that's massive.
Okay, there was a cool question from Nuska. 1 second. It says, is Rudolph still captain of the Snosnowitz? That's what it says. Sosnowitz. I can't. Yeah, okay.
Whatever that question is, yes.
Okay, is Moles still the MIO on board? Moles, MULZ. Okay, I'm not sure about that.
Hold on. It's still answering.
I'll just take a no.
No.
Okay.
No, I could tell it was in between an answer. I was like, no, hold on a second. That's definitely no.
Okay, next part is there a Kruger Corps contingent on board this Sosnowitz?
Yes.
Yes. Is there a Draco slash, I can't even say the word, Sikar, how do you say that word? Contingent on board for oversight and compartmentalization?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so that's all from Ruskin. That's a lot. Was I on board the Zollinger?
Yes.
Did I die in the Mitra Wars?
Yes. I
Crap.
saw that right before it answered.
So, did Chris die in the Mitra Wars?
Yes.
Okay, that is how I know him then. That's weird.
Is that Chris from Montauk?
It's Chris and Marsha, who just did a show on Typical Skeptic. And so he was on a few months back, and I spoke to somebody and I said, I recognize this guy, do you recognize him? And they said, yeah, he's from the Zollinger, and the Zollinger was the first ship to encounter the Mitra, and it started the war. And I had a memory of just basically, I really thought I was just Solar Warden or something. And I was checking cargo is how it felt, but I was standing with a glass pad and I could see he was there, but it must have been part of the ship. I felt like it wasn't my ship, but he recognizes me, but I'm just not really ready to go into that kind of thing yet. Anyway, so that's interesting. So I was on the Zollinger. Okay, fine. Okay, just one of my trillions of clones. So checking the chat, guys. If you've got any last questions, please pop them in because we're going to finish off soon. Because it's nearly 4 a.m. here in the UK. So
seriously, okay. Guys, any cool questions you want to have answered right now? I'm only doing this to show you what I can do during a 1-hour consultation or something like that, or like a 1-hour dowsing rod. But imagine asking unlimited questions back to back and allow me doing a bunch of follow-up questions. It's mind-blowing. And my connection to my rods, they're really fast. Most people that do dowsing rods, it's a very slow process. They don't really know how to act. They don't really know how to answer a lot of follow-up questions, but to me, it comes natural. I'm an interrogator by nature. That's what I'm known for in the programs. I interrogate people. You know, unfortunately, it's a thing. I don't like bad guys, and I'll always interrogate them.
So I do pendulum. I can't do rods. They just don't work for me. And I've got this other pendulum that I had out today, and I'll show you guys.
Are there any blocks preventing her from using dowsing rods? Yes. Are these blocks coming from the Draconians? Yes. Are these blocks coming from the Greys? Yes. Are these blocks coming from the Anunnaki? Yes. So you're saying there's more than a few groups that do not want her using rods? Yes.
So why do they let me use pendulums then?
Do they allow her to use pendulums? Yes.
Oh,
Are they also blocking her pendulum use? Yes. With her implants due to the tinnitus. Is what I said to her true? Yes. So are you telling her that she should be wary on focusing one answer being on one side being true? Yes. Are you saying that's because they are manipulating some of her answers? Yes. Okay.
That's curious. And the weird thing about if you say right side is good, left side is bad, my inner pendulum in my mind, the left side is yes and the right side is no. So it's reversed. So that's weird, isn't it? Can you ask one more question for me personally? So did I have recent contact with a consciousness that I call Red Queen? Okay. Okay. Yeah, I literally had to like force that out of my head the other day while I was doing memory retrieval.
Why'd she come in this time?
To deal with altars. She's helping me with altars.
Is Red Queen helping her with altars? Yes. Is Red Queen good for her? Yes. Is everything I said about Red Queen in my presentations 100% true? Yes. Is she a monarchdom assigned being? Yes. Is Red Queen in multiple MK Ultra facilities around the world? Yes. Is Red Queen an ancient soul? Yes. Is Red Queen older than 1 billion years old? Yes. You can see it's really swinging now.
Yeah. Yeah, so I literally had like I was trying to talk to my alter Kit Kat and messages were coming in, and then this other voice started to come in to try and stop me accessing memory, because this is some of the memories that people are trying to get out of my head, and I'm starting to become more aware of what the memories are, and it's
She's been
related
helping
to,
you. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. She's been helping you since you were a child, since before merge. She knew about
yeah.
who you were before merge.
Mm. That doesn't surprise me. Okay. So there
So I
was
can
a,
ask a question in my head and it answers me. I don't have to say it out loud. So I can
yeah,
take the question you're answering and
yeah.
just
We
by
we
intention
we
alone.
were telepathing earlier. You were answering questions that I had written on my list.
Well, that's what we're designed for. So
I know. So people don't realize that though. Okay, so and I think there's still probably people in the chat that don't realize that we're actual twins and everything. So it's quite funny. So Matthew West is saying, do my energy bodies hold Tiamat, the Anunnaki mother identity?
yes.
Oh, that feels a bit guarded, that information. Don't think you
Was
meant to
that
be.
information, is that information guarded? Is that because they don't want to let people know who Tiamat actually is? Is that because they want to keep misinformation about her? Yes. So should people listening to this transmission deep dive on who Tiamat is? Yes. Is Tiamat a Siakar? Yes.
Yeah,
Do Tiamat and I know each other between our Siakar dragons? Yes. Interesting. I didn't know that. That's cool.
okay, just checking for some last. Ali is saying, is something blocking me from meditation?
Yes. Is this ET based? Yes. Is this programs based? Yes. Is this Earth based military? Yes. Is this part of implants? Yes. Is this part of a 5G network? Yes. Is this also coming from her own Wi-Fi? Yes. What I do at nighttime is I turn off my Wi-Fi router, man. And when I started doing that, my dreams started changing. All my Maw dream kind of experiences that I have every single night, it's like, it's not, the dream's always different. And it's like, I'm in a city of what you would say mall world, and there's all these places at mall world. Everybody thinks it's just a mall, but it's not. It's like a part of a city that's part of a construct, a part of our programming. And I always get taken to that location, but whenever I turn my Wi-Fi off at night, I have regular dreams. And it's amazing. So everybody turn off your fucking Wi-Fi at nighttime and turn on and put your phone in airplane mode and see what happens. Just try it for a week and tell me what happens after a week.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just trying to find people who've not had any questions done. So Dan Guest is in the chat. Good morning, Big Daddy Dan. He's got a little baby. And there was a question. Where has it gone? Oh, is he on the right path? Is the question.
Is Dan on the right path? Yes. How about some
Yeah.
follow-up questions?
Should he be doing his comic book designs?
Yes.
Okay, cool. He's asking, was I taken as a kid in Wales?
Yes.
Is Dan linked to Black Pyramid ships?
Yep.
Okay, because there was a massive one in Wales a while back. It's not one I'm connected
It
to.
just said yes, so there was definitely a massive ship in Wales. The cool thing about my rods, if you say a true statement, my rods will confirm if your statement was true or not. And
Yeah.
that's how crazy these rods are.
Okay. Oh, good, nice is in the chat. Good to see you. I've not seen you for a while. Linda. Okay. Nathan asked a question earlier. Nathan, can you just pop that in again? Because I've lost it. He's asked one last question. So I'm just checking. Okay, Michelle is saying, will my cord cutting protocol be a game changer for helping people?
Yes.
There's a bit of uncertainty on that, actually.
Don't focus on the amount of time it takes.
Yeah.
Only yes or no is relevant.
Okay. Mad Hatter is saying, do I have a greater purpose here?
Yes. Is that purpose being blocked right now? Yes. Will that purpose come into that person's field soon? Yes. Should they step into that 100% without looking back? Yes. Should they let go of the fears of what attached to stepping forward is? Yes. Do it 100%.
Okay. Good Nice is asking, you ready? Are they watched by Aldebarans?
Yes.
Okay. Wizard Wickus is saying, is my DNA still being used by the Orion Syndicate?
Let me ask a follow-up question for the first one.
Yeah.
Are the Aldebarans also a code name that the Anunnaki use?
Oh, okay.
Yes. So were the Aldebarans that came to the Vroldamen with Maria Orsich, did they lie to them so they would cover up them being Anunnaki? Yes, I've known this for a long time. So
Mm.
Aldebaran is actually Anunnaki.
Okay. Did we do James's question about Orion Syndicate? Did we do that? Is the
Ask me again.
DNA? Is my DNA? Is James's DNA? Because I know mine is. Is James's DNA still being used by the Orion Syndicate?
100%.
Okay. Are James and I connected in the Orion Syndicate?
Yep.
Okay. Do James and I work in a lab together in the Orion Syndicate?
Yep.
Okay. Are James and I in breeding programs together for the Orion Syndicate?
Yep.
Yeah, there we go. We already knew that. That's so weird.
So you guys see how amazing these dowsing rods can be and how fast you can
Yeah.
get real answers. And I tell everybody, follow up with remote viewers confirming all this. They're all going to tell you yes. Follow up with hypnosis sessions showing you this truth. Don't just trust what I'm showing you and what these rods are telling you. Look at it yourself.
Yeah.
Seriously.
So there's a last couple of questions, guys, and that's it. So Ali Legendary SSJ says, have they worked with you in the SSP?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think Ali must be a guy because it's ALI. So Entertainment Issue Network is Armando says, I want to know if Alpha Draco fly UFO V shapes.
Yeah, that's the standard V shapes, the teardrops. Those are the standard ones you'll see in the Star Wars movies. So all the teardrop ones, those are actually draconian.
Okay. Athena is just saying, were they real?
Or what, real?
That's her question. Were they real? Let me see if there's another question.
Yes.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, you don't have to be specific with what you're needing answered because even if I don't know the answer, it's better because you're getting it directly from the rods. So ambiguous questions are actually good too.
Yeah. Okay. Is there anything that you want to ask it?
I own these rods.
Yeah, but I never
We
pull
talk.
Oracle cards myself hardly ever. Right? The guys have to remind me to pull my own card these days. I'm terrible. So,
What do you want to know?
what do I want to know about you?
Sure, ask any question. It doesn't matter. You know me, I don't fucking put shit in a vault and tell people they can't talk about it.
Okay. I'm going to think of a question, but I'm not going to say it out loud.
All right, think of it right now.
Okay. Okay, I'll tell you later. I'll tell you later. Okay. So okay, so HV Manara is saying there's been information. This isn't really a yes or no. It's saying did it really happen? So there's been information that's come forth recently claiming that Space Force Lunar Operations Command was attacked by a dark fleet, Nachtwaffen assets in July. Did this happen? Yes. Okay. All right, guys. I think that's it. I think we'll call it a day on that for now. Thank you. But thank you so much, everyone. We've got 44 people watching right now, which is awesome. You've got an upcoming conference next week. Do you want to plug the conference before we finish?
I'll do better. If there's somebody who wants to go to that conference that can make it next week to Michigan and fly out and get a hotel, I will give you a free ticket right now. I have one ticket to give away to the public. And if one of you can make it happen, I will give you that ticket. You can find information at mortalsoferarth.com. And that's the Disclosure and Mackinac Conference from August 30th or 31st through September 2nd. A bunch of badass speakers. It's right going to be either on Lake Erie, right on the beach, 600 acre property, amazing place. You can even camp there. Campgrounds, they have rooms, they have hotels near there, all kinds of stuff, man. So like if you want it, message me ASAP, and you got to prove to me that you can get to that conference and you purchased a plane ticket. So contact me ASAP, and the first person that can get it will get it.
That's pretty badass. What's your talk going to be on? Have you got a talk title?
I'm going to repeat the talk, the one that always gets me killed. So the one I said in bases, I'm going to be speaking that one. Everybody seems to love that timeline about myself, and that's what I'm going to be start doing. I'm gonna do the timeline as many conferences as I can. And this presentation, it's not like anyone's ever done before. It's presented in a way that's never been done, and it's very emotional. It feels like someone's going to rip you by the throat, shake you, throw you in the water, drown you, then pull you up and give you a hug. And that's what my presentation's like.
Yeah, there's an image in your one that you did in bases, and it's 3 kids, right? And it looks like you, me, and Brian sang, right? It's what it looks like, and that really got me when I saw that. I actually have it. I've taken a screenshot of it, and
that's why I created that slide. It was literally you, and I said that's Julia and that's Brian.
So yeah, it's so weird because when I watched the Disclosure Day movie recently, I got another memory of me and Brian abducted by aliens when we were kids, and this is like not SSP related; it's like Zeta Grey related, and it just like my mind just went Brian. When I saw the cinema, it's like we're like they're on the tables together. So yeah, yeah, I've not spoken to Brian for a while.
Was you?
Yeah.
Were you in Serpo?
I don't know.
Project Serpo?
Don't know. Can we ask the question?
Honestly, I am right now. I'm like, why did I just see you in Project Serpo or connected to Project Serpo? Because I was in Project Serpo with the Greys.
I've never looked into that before.
Is Julia connected to Project Serpo?
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Were we in Project Serpo together?
Was Brian there?
Oh, he was, yeah. I know Brian. Yeah. I know Brian was part of Project Serpo.
Yeah. We have permission to talk about Brian as a trio because we're all merged. So guys, in case you're asking, wondering why am I asking about Brian, we've actually got a pact to share information related to merge and related projects. So yeah.
Yeah, so we all made an agreement in merge that we would all eventually have podcasts and we would all come out and whistle blow and all kinds of shit. So it's interesting how it turned out to be true, man.
Yeah. I never thought I'd be a podcaster. That's so weird. Like, yeah, I'm only just getting
for the longest time either, man. It just kind of presented itself to me, and I'm like, I always wanted to do that, and I did it, and boom, it's been awesome.
I'm getting to the point now where I can start to talk about the darker stuff, whereas it really, really terrified me before. And like I've had a couple of Montauk shows come on recently, and I don't like to talk about Montauk because I want to get to the information. What were we doing? What were the projects? What were we retrieving? I don't want to get stuck in the trauma loop that a lot of people get stuck in. I want to not bypass it, but I want to get into the core of what we were doing rather than focus on cages and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Just understand that you have to talk about it so many times, and your soul's going to present it to you so many times until you can talk about it without being emotional or without crying or without going into an altar. That's what happened to me. I got to a point where I can talk about this and it doesn't affect me emotional at all. You can tell me something about me, a memory you have, and it will not activate me in any way. You will not have to give me a warning of any kind. And that's what's cool when you get to a certain level with breaking your programming, is because you're no longer on a leash anymore with how you react. It's you control the collar, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Funny, the last conference I did, I took live questions from the audience, and I literally just hear the question, and I just go, oh, okay, and I just started talking. And Kerry Cassidy asked me a question, and I didn't know who she was talking about when she said it's related to dolphins. Okay, so I know that's Aaron McCullum, talks about Project Seagate. So I just said, okay, thank you, and I just started talking about Project Seagate. And everyone was just like,
And
really.
didn't I tell you that that was one of your biggest fears is public speaking? And I said,
Mm.
you are naturally good at this. You can do it.
I
It's
can
only part
I
of your
can
own
do
programming.
public speaking, but I generally talk about crystals and ascension. I don't always talk about SSP. So it was the SSP thing that was the hardest because that's your personal journey. That's too personal in a way. And but yeah, so I've done 3 conferences in the last couple of months talking about the journey and being able to talk about it without any notes, without anything on the screen and everything. Talking, with no notice whatsoever, just get up on the stage and do it. So I kind of proved to myself that I don't need to have anything there because it's my life, isn't it? So the right words are going to come at the right time. So you just need to make that space, and it'll all start to flood in. But they did come up to me afterwards and say, you didn't even sound like the same voice. The voice was different, the pace, the tone, and everything was different. And it is like we do go into a briefing mode. We do activate and just start debriefing everybody in the room. And I had quite a few people really activate memories as they were sitting there. And some people switched off. But loads of people came to me afterwards and they said, oh my God, like the energy in the room, what you were saying, I've got this flood of memories coming in. And then they all wanted to buy the deck, and I only had like 4 card decks with me at the time. So it was mega. It was great.
That's because you were born for this. And that the person that I heard the first presentation you ever did, I'm like, that's the real Julia. The one that doesn't, when you start talking, all the others, the nervousness just goes away. Like you might say it was there, but the audience didn't notice it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
I get
saying?
targeted with anxiety. I get dumped on with anxiety. And I get like I do get like suicide programming and stuff like that, and I push through that. And I've had a lot of weird shit dumped on me in the last year. But I push through. Keep moving forward is my only motto. Okay, this is so cool. Yeah, Athena's saying once you can talk about the trauma without being affected, it's freeing, and it is. But for us, it's like, yeah, we can talk about it without being emotional because that's just what we do. It's how we've been trained to talk. Yeah, and brief and train people. Wizardwick is saying Black Sheep Rebel Alliance. I've literally got my Bar R t-shirt on today. It's available in my merch store, and I think it's time that you did some designs to go into a merch store at galacticfire.com. Like that's where mine is, and Rob's got one over there as well. And you could do your own designs, and that would be freaking amazing, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
already have like 20 designs ready to go. I already have the name of my brand, but I would like to produce them myself. So I
Okay.
need to get a print. I need to get a t-shirt printer, like print,
Yeah, I
not
see.
do, not do the old school color transfer color by color. I'm trying to print them fast and get them high quality, and they
Yeah.
last a long time, and they're great brands, and that's where I'm
Yeah.
at.
These are awesome. So I've got quite a few different ones now. So I've got Barra, I've got Anchorhaven ones, and I've got some Breakaway Oracle ones that are going in, and some silly ones like we have little weird things like WFW that we say on my channel and stuff like that, which has actually come from Eva Pico and the Igron, and I've got a workshop with Eva Pico coming up very soon. Okay, yes, keep moving forwards from the movie The Robinsons, Meet the Robinsons. Yeah.
It was
Okay.
actually Eva 9, Eva
Yeah.
Pinko. Her name, when she saved me at Outpost 108, her name was Eva 9. And she was working for Swartzasana. And she's the one that helped me bring my soul back into the vault after they killed me. And I was in the middle of a Phoenix jump. I was going between 2 points in time. And they sent a severance entropic wave at me, and it basically obliterated my soul. And what happens when you're in the SSP, if you die in combat, you get bilocated to a local vault or back to a ship. And since I was in the middle of a big mission in the middle of a time transfer, they backed my consciousness back at this outpost called Outpost 108, and it's between Mars and Jupiter in this little pocket dimension. But it's one of the Black Sun's strongholds. A lot of beings that die, a lot of those souls, they go to this vault. So it's not good, man. It's run by the damn Draconians. But yeah, that's where I met Eva 9. That's where I remember interacting with Randy Kramer the first time because he was there as well. We have a pretty cool story to tell if we ever get together, man.
That's so cool. Okay, so guys, everybody, please do go follow Drago Portal to Another Dimension. Check out fractaloflight.com and Mortals of Earth for the latest conference, which is Disclosure in Mackinac in Michigan. I'd love to be able to go to that one. It's too far away. And Yeah, thank you so much for doing this. I'm going to end the live stream now. So thank you everybody for joining us. We really appreciate it. Hopefully Drago will come back on next month maybe and do like a little group show with John Whitberg. That would be so cool. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Anything final words?
Other than finding me at fractaloflight.com, if that was the correct direction I pointed, who knows with these recordings. If you have any questions, I do, like I said, I do deep dive dowsing rods for 150 an hour. I do standard consultations for 75 an hour, Oracle readings for 75 an hour. So guys, I can do a lot of stuff outside of hypnosis sessions. And if you're nice and you're not pushy, I might give you a little bit of psychic reading too. So that's about it.
Awesome.